welcome to our channel AglaSem Schools. I'm Aishwarya and I'm back with another chapter of social and political life. Today we will discuss chapter number 7 of social and political life, that is marginalization. In this chapter, we will understand what it means to be a marginalized community through the experiences of different marginalized community. You will read and learn about two communities that are considered to be socially marginalized in India today. So, without wasting much time, let us start with our exercise and try to give appropriate solutions for the same. Let's start with question number 1, which says, write in your own words 2 or more sentences of what you understand by the word marginalization. Answer: marginalized means an experience of being excluded, when an individual or a group of individuals are not acceptable to others because of distinctive nature, social environment, communities, groups, etc. Sometimes marginalized groups are viewed with hostility and fear. This sense of difference and exclusion leads to communities not having access to resources and opportunities in their inability to assert their rights. Thus, marginalization is seldom experienced in one sphere. Economic, social, culture, and political factors work together to make certain groups in society feel marginalized. Next, moving on to question number 2, list 2 reasons why Adivasis are becoming increasingly marginalized. Answer: let us first understand who are Adivasis. Adivasis, the term literally means original inhabitants, are the communities who lived and often continue to live in close association with forests. Adivasis are becoming increasingly marginalized because of the following reasons. First, Adivasis practice a range of tribal religions that are different from Islam, Hinduism, and Christianity. These often involve the worship of ancestors, village, and nature spirits, the last associated with and residing in various sites in the landscape, mountain spirits, river spirits, animal spirits, etc. Adivasis are invariably portrayed in very stereotypical ways, in colorful costumes, headgear, and through their dancing. This often wrongly leads to people believing that they are exotic, primitive, and backward. Question number 3. Write one reason why you think the Constitution safeguards to protect minority communities are very important. Answer: the Indian Constitution recognized that the culture of the majority influences the way in which society and government might express themselves. In such cases, size can be a disadvantage and lead to the marginalization of the relatively smaller communities. Thus, safeguards are needed to protect minority communities against the possibility of being culturally dominated by the majority. They also protect them against any discrimination and disadvantage that they may face. The Constitution provides these safeguards because it is committed to protecting India's cultural diversity and promoting equality as well as justice. Now, moving on to question number 4, reread the section on minorities and marginalization. What do you understand by the term minority? Answer: the term minority is most commonly used to refer the communities that are numerically small in relation to the rest of the population. However, it is a concept that goes well beyond numbers. It encompasses issues of power, access to resources, has social and cultural dimensions. Question number 5. Imagine you are participating in a debate where you have to provide reasons to support the following statement: Muslims are a marginalized community. Using the data provided in this chapter, list 2 reasons that you would give. Muslims are marginalized communities because of the following reasons. Firstly, according to reports, there are 14.2% of Muslims in Indian population and are considered to be a marginalized community in India today because, in comparison to other communities, they have been deprived of the benefits of socio-economic development over the years. Secondly, Muslims often experience social marginalization because, like other minorities, Muslim customs and practices are sometimes quite distinctive from what is seen as the mainstream. Some Muslims may wear a burqa, sport a long beard, wear a fez, and these become ways to identify all Muslims. Because of this, they tend to be identified differently, and some people think they are not like the rest of us. Often, this becomes an excuse to treat them unfairly and discriminate against them. Question number 6 says, imagine that you are watching the Republic Day parade on TV with a friend and she remarks, look at these tribals. They look so exotic and they seem to be dancing all the time. List 3 things that you would tell her about the lives of Adivasis in India. Answer. Firstly, I will explain to her who Adivasis really are. Adivasis means original inhabitants, are communities who lived and often continue to live in close association with forests. Around 8% of India's population is Adivasi, and many of India's most important mining and industrial centers are located in Adivasi areas. Adivasis have their own languages, most of them radically different from possibly as old as Sanskrit, which have often deeply influenced the formation of mainstream Indian languages like Bengali. India has 104 national parks covering 40,501 square kilometer and 543 wildlife sanctuaries covering 1,18,918 square kilometers. These are areas where tribals originally lived but were evicted from. Because of this, they lost all their means of livelihood and were forced to move to cities where they had to work in low wages to earn some money. Question number 7. In the storyboard you read about how Helen hopes to make a movie on the Adivasi story. Can you help her by developing a short story on Adivasis? Answer. Adivasis, the original inhabitants of India, had a very rich life. There was a small village in Orissa which was rich with forests and land serving and catering to the needs of Adivasis. Adivasis respected their land, forest and river as it was the only source of livelihood for them. But one fine day, they were told the only forest they had was not theirs anymore. Most of the parts of the forest were cut down by the forest officials and contractors. They would get beaten up if protested. They did not have lawyers or power in their hand. The whole situation made them helpless. Eventually, they were forced to leave their homes and find seasonal work in nearby towns. During all this chaos, the company walas came saying they want to mine the iron under Adivasi's land and in turn promised them to give jobs and money. However, only a few were given jobs and most of them decided not to sell their land. With the support of authorities, the company kept pressurizing them, threatening and forced the Adivasis to abandon their forefathers' land. With all the pressure and threatening attacks, Adivasis were forced to leave the land, leaving them with no source of income. Question number 8. Would you agree with the statement that economic marginalization and social marginalization are interlinked? Give your reasons. Answer. Yes. Social and economic marginalization are interconnected because if there is no social development, economic development cannot take place and vice versa. When minorities are not accepted socially, it is difficult for them to grow economically and hence this hinders their social and economic development. So guys, this was all for this chapter. Hope you liked the video and if you did, then don't forget to like and share the video with all your friends. If you still have any doubts regarding the chapter, then feel free to ask us in a comment section below. And yes, do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more NCERT videos of other subjects too. See you soon. Bye bye.